Part 1 of the ICP asked us to read in the datasets as CSV files and then create data frames immediately upon reading them in. So first I created the Spark session here, and then to create the data set or data frame and read in the file, I used spark.read.csv. And I did this for both the station data and the trip data sets. Read them in as CSV files, and then I saved them to a station data frame variable and a trip data frame variable. And then I showed both of these variables so they would print out after I created them, just so that I could verify that they had been created correctly and everything looked right. And then once those data frames were created correctly, I used them to create the graph. So I used the graph frame method. I passed the data frames as the vertices and edges. The station data set was the vertices, and then the trip data set were the edges. And then again, I just printed these out here just to verify that everything had been created correctly. Now, the second question asked us to start applying some algorithms to the graph that we had created with these data sets. So first was a triangle count algorithm, and then this one just simply shows how many triangles are passing through each vertex. So for this one, I used the name for the, again, the station data set was the vertices, so the name from the station data set, that column, and then I showed the counts for each of the name vertices. The next question, part 3, asked us to find the shortest path with respect to landmarks. So I just selected 2 landmarks, San Jose and Redwood City, and then I showed the distances for each of those from the name vertices again. The part 4 told us to apply PageRank. So PageRank is used to show how many links and references there are to a specific page. So this one I used it to show the weights for start station and end station and printed those out. And then lastly, I saved the graphs to file. I saved the vertices and edges separately, and then these are just the name of the output file that's being created, and they will be saved with this file. And then to reload these graphs, you would read in from these files and create new vertices and edges variables, and then you would pass it to graph frame just like we did up here with those new variables, and it would create an identical graph.